Yeah, we be fumbling. We be fumbling these blessings that God has given us. We be fumbling the victories because we think once we get that victory, that blessing, that we ain't got to do nothing to keep it. Let's look in the Word. So we are in the book of Nehemiah, and this is the remnant. These are the people that committed to serving God and rebuilding the temple, right? And so this is about maybe 18 years later, 15, 18, I'm not good with numbers. But we see that Nehemiah learns that the people in the Holy Land in Jerusalem are not doing so well. And so he gets permission from a pagan king to go and rebuild the temple and the walls and all the things that need to be fixed, right? And so that's what's happening in the first couple of chapters, first 6 chapters. And so they have been threatened. They are working really hard. It is not an easy job. And so when they finally rebuild the walls, they have a victory. So one thing about having walls around their city, their land, is that it keeps them safe, right? These walls were down, so they were vulnerable. Anything could have attacked them. They needed to get these walls up. So in chapter 6, the wall was completed. It was completed in 52 days. And I just love the verse where it says, verse 16, when all our enemies heard this, all the surrounding nations were intimidated and lost their confidence, for they realized that this task had been accomplished by our God, right? All right, so in chapter 7, we are getting to the part where many people fumble. So they have this victory. The walls have been rebuilt. The doors were installed. The gatekeepers, singers, Levites were appointed. They had a celebration. He says, do not open the gates of Jerusalem until the sun is hot, and let the doors be shut and securely fastened while guards are on duty. Station the citizens of Jerusalem as guards, some at their posts and some at their home. So the walls have been built. That's a victory. God did that. But they didn't, the walls wouldn't guard themselves. And so they were like, we're going to keep this victory by putting people in place. We are going to guard our space, our holy land. We are going to guard our temple. We are not going to let anything come and take this away from us. It's like when we get that blessing, we think that's all we got to do. It reminds me of dating, right? So like once you get the guy, once you get the girl, then you're all done. You're like, whatever. You don't guard that relationship with all your heart and mind and soul. It's like getting a job and you're like, oh my God, I'm qualified. I got the job. But then you get there and you don't do nothing and you lose that job. Y'all better guard it. Guard every blessing, every victory that God has given you. Do not take it for granted. This is everything, your gifts, your talents, what God has blessed you with. Like, he gives these things to us, but ultimately they are all his, right? And we are called to be stewards over these things. Don't let him take away that talent and give it to someone else who was a better steward over it. Y'all go and read Nehemiah. It's amazing. Peace and blessings.